Sun is the source of almost all energy that sustains life on Earth. Sunlight is physical form of energy. However, sunlight itself is not a very useful form of energy. It cannot be eaten, it cannot turn dynamos, and it cannot be stored. To be beneficial, the energy in sunlight must be converted to other forms. This is what photosynthesis is all about. It is the process by which plants change the energy in sunlight to other kinds of energy like food energy that can be stored for later use. Photosynthesis is the most important biological process on Earth. It serves as the world's largest solar battery. Photosynthesis literally means synthesis with light. It is a process in which light energy is captured and stored by an organism, and the stored energy is used to drive cellular processes. Photosynthesis converts massive amount of sunlight first into electrical and then to chemical energy. The input is carbon dioxide, water, light, and the output is carbohydrates, that is food, which we need for our nourishment, and oxygen that we need to breathe. By studying photosynthesis, we can find ways to increase food, fiber, and fuel production, convert solar energy to electricity, produce hydrogen gas from water, use photosynthetic reaction centers as miniature transistors and photochemical switches, use knowledge of photoprotection by plants in curing cancer, and offset global warming, etc. All of our biological energy needs are met by consuming food which we get from the plants either directly or through herbivorous animals. Plants in turn obtain the energy to synthesize foodstuffs via photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the first step required in any food chain. All the non-photosynthetic organisms depend on this step to derive their energy. One of the carbohydrates resulting from photosynthesis is cellulose. It makes up the bulk of dry wood and other plant material. When we burn wood, we convert cellulose back to carbon dioxide and release the stored energy as heat. In addition, past photosynthesis provides the fossil fuels needed to power the industry and automobiles, etc. Our major sources of energy, of course, are coal, oil, and natural gas. These materials are all derived from ancient plants and animals, and the energy stored within them is chemical energy that originally came from sunlight through photosynthesis. Thus, most of the energy we use today was originally solar energy. Algae and cyanobacteria are being grown as potential source of biodiesel. Hydrogen gas, which is considered to be future fuel, is also obtained by light driven reactions in algae. Currently, there is a lot of discussion concerning the possible effects of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases on the environment. Greenhouse gases enhance the surface temperature of the earth and contribute to global warming. It is leading to conversion of landforms into worst conditions. Green plants can reduce global warming by acting as sinks for carbon dioxide by the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and replaces it with oxygen. Thus, it would tend to ameliorate the effects of carbon dioxide released by the burning of fossil fuels. Aging of the skin and skin cancer are two of the many deleterious effects of light on humans and animals. Plants have been dealing with light since ages and have efficient photoprotective mechanisms to limit light-induced damages. If we know about the molecular mechanisms of these repair processes, we may be able to utilize that knowledge to solve light-induced problems in humans such as skin cancer. Substances related to chlorophyll or chlorophyll derivatives localize in cancerous cells and thus act as dyes to demarcate between cancer and normal cells. At first glance, photosynthesis would seem to have no association with the design of computers and other electronic devices. However, there is a potentially very strong connection. A goal of modern electronics research is to make transistors and other circuit components as small as possible. It turns out that photosynthetic reaction centers are natural photochemical switches of molecular dimensions. Learning how plants absorb light, control of the movement of the resulting energy to reaction centers and convert the light energy to electrical and finally chemical energy can help us understand how to make molecular scale computers. Green is all around us. The distinctive color of chlorophyll announces the presence of photosynthetic organisms, including trees, shrubs, grasses, cacti, ferns, etc. But this is just the tip of the iceberg of photosynthetic life. Photosynthetic organisms are present in a vast variety of environmental conditions like land, sea, salt lakes, hot water lakes, and many other extreme environments. In addition to these most viable organisms, there is a remarkable variety of microscopic photosynthetic life, including many types of algae and photosynthetic bacteria. Plants, algae, and several microorganisms carry out photosynthesis. When photosynthesis is accompanied with release of oxygen, it is called oxygenic photosynthesis. Oxygenic photosynthesis utilizes light energy to generate excited electrons from water, as shown in the equation. It occurs in higher plants, for example, rice, maize, wheat, mosses, ferns, forest trees, shrubs, etc. Also in green, red, brown and yellow algae and even in blue-green cyanobacteria. There are photosynthetic bacteria, for example, purple and green bacteria and heliobacteria that can produce carbohydrate, that is food, but no oxygen. They are called anoxygenic photosynthesizers. Instead of the all abundant water, they use H2S or even organic matter. Oxygenic photosynthesizers use the green pigment chlorophyll A located in protein complexes in photosynthetic membranes to run the photochemistry of the process, whereas the anoxygenic photosynthesizers use bacteriochlorophyll instead. Oxygenic photosynthesis requires two photosystems, PS1 and PS2. PS2 is involved in splitting of water into oxygen as well as photochemical events, while photosystem 1 carries out only photochemistry. Thus, oxygenic photosynthetic organisms contain both PS2 and PS1, while anoxygenic photosynthetic organisms contain only PS1. There are 5 major groups of photosynthetic prokaryotes. 4 of them are anoxygenic, examples of which are purple bacteria, green sulfur bacteria, green non-sulfur bacteria, and heliobacteria. Single oxygenic photosynthetic prokaryote is cyanobacteria. In eukarya, photosynthesis takes place in higher plants and algae. Remarkably, the basic structure of the photosynthetic membrane and the mechanism of photosynthesis are generally similar in all oxygenic photosynthetic organisms. Even the anoxygenic photosynthetic bacteria, which are most primitive than oxygenic forms, carry out photosynthesis using the same basic physical principles. Here, the differences between plant and bacterial photosynthesis are summarized. The organisms which carry out plant photosynthesis are higher plants, algae and cyanobacteria, while green and purple bacteria are examples of organisms which carry out bacterial photosynthesis. The major pigments in both are different. In plant photosynthesis, chlorophyll A, which shows absorbance in the wavelength regions 650 to 750 nm, and in bacterial photosynthesis, it is bacteriochlorophyll, which absorbs higher wavelengths. Only one photosystem PS1 is present in bacterial photosynthesis, while both PS1 and PS2 are present in plant photosynthesis. As a result of presence of PS2, plants can evolve oxygen, while green and purple bacteria cannot. Hence the terms oxygenic and anoxygenic photosynthesis. The electron donor in plant photosynthesis is water, while it is H2S or some other electron donor in bacterial photosynthesis. In higher plants, photosynthesis takes place in the plant cells which contain specialized organelles called chloroplasts. They are abundantly present in the mesophyll cells of the leaf. It is surrounded by a chloroplast envelope made up of double membrane. The region inside the inner membrane is called the stroma, which contains numerous soluble enzymes, particularly those involved in dark reactions or carbon fixation. Extensive internal membrane systems inside the chloroplast, called the thylakoid membrane, contain chlorophyll and the electron transport system, which carries out initial light energy capture and storage. These thylakoids make some dense and stacked structures called grana. Light reactions take place mainly in grana. Grana and stroma are highly interconnected. In cyanobacteria and algae, thylakoid membranes are not pressed together in the form of grana, but are associated in stacks of a few membranes. Photosynthesis takes place in 2 steps: light dependent reactions, that are called light reactions, light independent reactions called as dark reactions. Light reactions need light to produce organic energy molecules, that are ATP and NADPH. They are initiated when the sunlight falls on the colored pigments present in the leaf, mainly green colored chlorophylls. The substrate for light reactions are water and sunlight. Products of light reactions are ATP, NADPH and oxygen. Dark reactions make use of these organic energy molecules, which are ATP and NADPH. This reaction cycle is also known as Kelvin-Benson cycle, and it occurs in the stroma. ATP provides the energy, while NADPH provides the electrons required to reduce carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Light reactions take place in the grana involving 4 major protein complexes: photosystem II, photosystem I, cytochrome B6F complex and ATP synthase. Dark reactions do not need light, but dark reactions will fail to continue if the plants are deprived of light for too long, since they use the output of the initial light dependent reactions. Dark reactions require free energy from ATP produced in the light reactions. It requires carbon from carbon dioxide and hydrogen from NADPH2 produced in the light reactions. The biochemical equations of dark reactions are explained by Kelvin cycle. Kelvin cycle has been named after Professor M. Kelvin, who discovered it. It takes place in 3 steps: carboxylation, reduction and regeneration, and involves 13 biochemical reactions. As a result of it, 3 carbon sugar is produced, which may be utilized as immediate energy or may be converted to amino acids, lipids or nucleic acids, or can be converted to glucose, sucrose, starch and cellulose. Thus, the substrates for dark reactions are ATP, NADPH and CO2. Products of dark reactions is sugar. Thus, I have explained the definition, significance and general introduction of photosynthesis. In subsequent modules, we will discuss this process in more details.